What's good, fam? Welcome to Subs Over Dubs podcast, episode 7. My name is Vihshun,
It's your boy Rebel.
and today we breaking down the past week of anime episodes. And if you can't see already, I'll put a little screenshot. We got the merch going, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Some
sir.
ideas going. I learned a lot about branding and just how there's so many. Obviously, there's a lot of ways to make a shirt, but I learned a lot of different things. So the way we had these set up was through vinyl with a printing press. It was dope. I liked the way they came out for the most part, but I already kind of knew that the quality wasn't necessarily bad, but when it comes to like washing and drying, the vinyl, the heat kills the glue because it's been stamped on and it's held together with the fabric by the glue, that if we dry it incorrectly, it'd come off. But I like the way it came out. How about you? You liked what you see?
They look good. I was excited. It came out better than I actually thought. Like, you went somewhere in the mall, right?
Yeah,
It was.
I went to Baby.
So when you go through these places, like these kiosks, you're like always skeptical, and you're like, man, the quality is gonna suck, or it's gonna look like really like unauthentic, I guess you could say. But and it came out good. The shirts feel good. The shirts themselves are actually decent quality too.
Shout out to Gildan.
Holding us
Premium
down.
Gildan? Nah. And that was another thing. One thing that I always knew, like most custom shirts, they are made with Gildan shirts. And it's kind of a mix. This is the premium cotton version. It's solid. Like it's it's acceptable, I would say personally. It's not the best, but I've seen the worst
Yeah, it's
version of
decent.
Gildan.
They're nice, you know. The only thing is like with the Gildan shirts. And the moment I found out they were Gildan, I was like, go a size up because you know it's gonna shrink. But
Yeah.
that, I mean, and the cool thing is like the guy even talked to us about how to allow the shirts to last longer.
Mhm.
Most people don't do that. They'll just sell you a shirt and be like, here you go. But he's like, hey,
Good
you know,
luck.
yeah, good luck. But you know, these guys they spend some time, you know, with you and let you know, hey, you know, put it on a cool tumble, let them, you know. And I'm like, that's cool. That's worth more to me, I guess, than the actual shirt in itself, because it's like you're getting that premium quality of service on top of the product in itself.
Yeah, 100%. And they're like saved. It's mainly because they did so much work. So for them there's like a little vinyl cutter that they had to basically take our logo. They mess with it on some type of Canva. It's not Canva, but some type of program to be able to send it to the machine to cut out each individual like strand. I didn't know it was gonna be this accurate either. Like it's fairly accurate. The guys were peeling within the kanji in our logo. We have the little lines. They were sitting there peeling forever. Just
I felt bad.
I felt bad. But I was like, man, I just gave you $25. So
That's true. That's true.
you know,
Per shirt.
per shirt, and you did that. Both of them took about. If there was no one else there, they probably would have got it done in like 15, 20. Took them about 30 minutes.
That's still not bad though.
And you know, 25
Yeah.
like. The cost of it, they made a lot. These shirts themselves, I think for a pack of 4 or 5 is probably around $30. So they got their money back. They ain't hurting too bad. But again, just learned a lot about branding. I also hit up an embroidery, I guess, stand. Talked with this guy and he gave me some information about, you know, all the different styles. You know, you got I forgot what exactly it's called, but it's another press. I'm pretty sure it's when you print out the picture. This is what we're more commonly seen, is where they press the ink into the shirt, so it's part of the shirt. And they had that too, and I was kind of wondering. I was like, why are they not doing that with my logo? But then I seen our logo. Even though I understand the vinyl has some probably long-term durability potential issues, I like the way this logo came out because with the ink they had, they wouldn't. I don't know if the camera's capturing this, but there is a gold. The gold circle is reflective or metallic. I don't know how we want to call it, but you wouldn't be able to get that shine off.
It would look more like ink. A matte, like
yeah,
just like
it would
yellow,
just be. It would just
like
be a gold, a flat gold color, which you know I would be okay with. But I just like the way these look as shirts.
Yeah, for sure. They took the logo and just duplicate it. Like this is as good as it's gonna get, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As far as duplicating the logo, so that was really cool.
So, but going back to the embroidery guy, I had some conversations because I just want to, you know, take our branding to the upteenth level, you know, and I wanted to get either I don't know of a patch, but something like an embroidered, like our logo embroidered on our sleeve. And he just gave me some. He's like, why don't you just do the whole shirt? I was like, well, I didn't know it could get that accurate. I was like, you know, how much of the details? He's like, especially for our chest, if it's this big, they can blow it up all the way. And then the threads, there's like the shiny threads, I guess you can say. So, you know, that's a dope concept. I think we'll definitely look to do that at least with the hoodies, because I don't think it's worth the investment to put like threading on a shirt. The only shirts I can think of that I've seen like that is like, have you seen the Jordan shirts? And it has like it kind of, it's puffy.
It's like,
I guess.
like the 3D patch.
Exactly. You know, I think that would look dope on a hoodie, but I don't think it makes too much sense on a shirt because it's supposed to be lightweight. And it would make the price go up, because for his, you know, the things he was charging me for to get it embroidered, you'd have to basically, it's called get it digitized. Basically, it takes the size of the image, sends it over, that way the little sewing machine knows how to do it. It gives it instructions, if you will, but it's each size. So we have this size on our shirt, and we shrunk it down and did the one on our arm. That's another digitized that it needs to make for that size on your shirt to do the thread count properly. So yeah, definitely this is the first mock-up. I'm pretty pleased with it. It's for $25. I don't feel like I lost, but as I kind of spoke to you on the side, there's very minimal gains in the process we currently did working with these guys to, you know, merchandise it. So we're gonna probably go another avenue down the road before we start providing you guys with merch to buy yourselves from us. But yeah, look forward to some ideas coming soon. I mean, I went through a lot of stuff. Hoodies, I seen a dope windbreaker that I really want to do. I don't know if I talked to you about that.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
I was just like, man, I can't imagine having a little windbreaker with our logo. That'd be so fly to have. But yeah, a lot of good ideas coming soon. So look forward.
It's dope.
So let's get into the anime though. Let's start off with My Hero, man. So
look, before we start on the news, let's start off with some things that I lost out on. You know, last podcast we were talking about Best Jeanist. You know, we're talking. So obviously I put it on TikTok, put a poll up. It was a very simple question: does Best Jeanist deserve the number 3 spot? And I have the results. So it was a 71-29 split. Best Jeanist did not and does not deserve the 3rd.
Where's Maury at? You're not the father.
You know, so I guess I lost that one, right? But, you know, that I win some, I lose some, right? And that's the whole point of this. And people obviously were debating on the comments and things like that. So still really fun. Still really cool that we did that. And everyone showed up and showed out to vote. So I took the L.
Did anyone comment as to why he didn't deserve?
No, they were just like,
no.
Just voting. They were just like, no.
They were just like,
straight up no. I'm like, come on, man. My guy deserves it, bro.
No explanation needed. See, listen, guys. Sometimes we're not always on the same page, but this one, I'm glad we were able to come together and quell the force of evil over here, trying to push this narrative.
Best Jeanist is like Batman. Have you seen his Batman car, bro?
Oh my god, that's the best thing he got going for him. Sadly,
he had a grapple gun in his Batman car. He's a GOAT, bro. He single-handedly saved everybody.
I guess. But anything else?
Nope, that was it. Go ahead. We can start. Now we can start. I had to just, I said I was going to do the poll. I did the poll and I lost. So on to the next one.
So in this latest episode of My Hero, essentially we have kind of more of the aftermath of what happened. You know, we see heroes dropping out, people questioning what they should be doing. We get a lot of information on the Hawks. I was happy to see the real hero. You know what I'm saying? Is number 2, correct?
The real killer, but yes, he's number 2.
Hey, man. It's My Hero Academia.
Your Hero Academia.
What'd you think about all the Hawks information? We got his backstory finally.
That was really cool. It was sad. Like, I liked it, but like, it kind of makes you understand like the way he is. Like, he always, in my mind, has always put on this like kind of facade. Like, he ain't really always. A mask? Yeah, he is wearing a mask, and even though sometimes he like might make a joke or be like, I don't know, he always just felt like he was always walking around like there was a chip on his shoulder. And when I found out that like his mom basically sold him to the agency for like support, and I'm like, that's crazy. Changed this guy's name, changed his whole identity I was a little sad, man. That's kind of crazy, but you kind of understand, like, in that aspect. And then obviously, like, he admires Endeavor, so you can see where his tactics of, like, when he killed twice, it makes more sense because he's not like, he didn't look up to All Might. He wasn't like Deku, where he's like, we're gonna save everybody with a smile. He's like, we need to get things done, and however it needs to get done, we're gonna do it. And he displayed that in that last fight. So
he said, "I'm gonna do it."
He did do it. He did put the team on his back.
Hey, listen.
But he crossed the line. That's not my Hawks.
Not all heroes wear capes, man. Remember that. Hey, listen, I really enjoyed Hawk's backstory, Broken Home. Kind of seen it because he was just so indifferent towards a lot of different things. I like his personality now. He kind of grew into himself. But then you hear him talking about he's finally free because he doesn't have the shackles of his mom being around anymore. And then I guess, I don't know if it's necessarily the hero stigma. I don't know how to explain it, but basically he's just saying, I'm finally free. I don't know what to do. Or he says he knows what to do. My apologies. And it looks like he's going to make sure, Endeavor reclaims that throne and gets to people's hearts. Because
sure.
I think that's kind of been his mission. We kind of knew about it because he's like, I think I don't know which episode, but back in maybe a season ago, Hawks told Endeavor, I think he told him to his face that you're my hero or something. Endeavor was a little bit skeptical of why he was trying to help him or push him. And
yeah,
stuff.
when they fought the Nobus, he was like, why is this guy just like helping me? But that makes sense. It just kind of wraps it all together. But that was really cool. Good. And it makes sense,
So I think Hawks has probably, again, been my favorite hero on the show. And then it just all the stuff that's happened in the killing twice. He just made me like him even more. And then I find his backstory, which I kind of knew the direction of it was going, or what it was. I didn't know his relationships was that broken, was like his mom.
Yeah.
But it was dope. I enjoyed it. I'm glad we finally got the backstory on him. So yeah, I think I'm glad we got this information. I know a lot of you manga readers been holding on this to a while.
Facts.
But it was dope. But moving on to Endeavor, we had some discussions about this. I thought was gonna happen. What you thought was gonna happen? It's rolling out perfectly.
Yeah, it is. I mean, except for, like I said, his death at that point would have made it better. But I mean, kind of seeing
just the series,
just for this as the story, like closing the chapter on Endeavor. But I mean, him basically being broken, like mentally and emotionally, is probably just as good for the storyline. Not saying that I like to see it, because I was rooting for Endeavor.
If you want to be technical, he did say it, and it's kind of happened real time. Endeavor, the hero, died.
Yeah,
he's alive, but Endeavor's
so
dead.
That's what's interesting is I wonder if he's gonna step down, retire, or if he's just like,
I think he's just gonna rebuild himself. Essentially, what's gonna come down to.
He's gonna have a new name.
I don't know if he's gonna go as far as rebranding, but he's definitely gonna.
He's like, we need PR to,
we need PR control. yeah. We took L's today. We need to dial this back, man.
Yes, sir.
We need to go stay on the low. Let things roll over. We'll come back when it's
yeah. We'll bring it back later. But now what was cool, what really excited me, and I don't know if you geeked out the way I did, but like towards the end, it was either before that Endeavor or like his scene or after, where what's his name? I just said his name, bro. Why every time we turn on this camera?
You kind of missed me.
Stain. Okay. Yeah, so Stain, I'm like, bro, the man broke out. I'm kind of excited to see what goes on there. Is there going to be a rematch with Deku, or
got all the fake heroes out of here? Now it's only the real deal.
Yes, sir. But I wonder if he's going to get washed.
By who?
By Deku. Like
he already got washed. Did the first.
He already got washed once, so it's like, we rematch him, bro, or
something tells me that he's going to be kind of like the anti-hero thing. Like he's already been that, but like he's not necessarily evil, but like in the name he's anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's gonna play some type of neutral middle ground that creates like a three-way. He's not necessarily
like a three-way deadlock,
kind of, in my opinion.
That'd be cool.
I think that's where it's gonna go with Stain. He's just gonna be back on the scene, taking care of the remaining villains and heroes, because like he
don't care. He's like, I'm done with all of this.
He's
done with like the hero villain world.
Yeah, there was only one hero this whole time. It's been All Might, and then at the second part, it was Deku at the end of their fight.
Yeah. So that's why I was wondering, because like, I wonder if they meet again, he's gonna have more like, I guess, respect for him. Like, you're the
See.
only the second guy that's like proven to me what a real hero is. So I don't know. I hope there's no like malicious intent where they rematch, even though it looked cool. I think it's gonna be kind of one of those things where it's like he kind of leans over to the hero side because of Deku.
I think something's gonna happen based on like the intro we see. We definitely see, I guess, a darker version of Deku in the intro, and maybe he gets a little bit more on the darker path, and Stain fights him, and like this is not who you were, last time. So you were
That'd
the
be
hero,
cool, yeah.
and it kind of brings him back full circle. That's what I maybe having. It's interesting to see. There's a lot of ways.
He's gonna be his Kakashi, bro.
Maybe
it's gonna be his mentor.
Going back to Endeavor though, it's kind of he's breaking down. He's realizing all these things that is happening, and then you kind of see the scene where his family comes in and Shoto is like, Dad?
He closed that door.
He's like, oh,
I died, bro.
Yeah,
that was
a funny moment. And then he was like screaming. It was like a little comedy moment that was like
every
well-placed.
time Endeavor says his name, bro. Like he's never just like Shoto. That man's got to scream it at the top of his lungs.
Hey,
it's funny.
Hey man, he loves his family. Man.
He loves his son.
He's even a bigger family man now. And then I want to see what the conversation is going to be between him and his wife, because what was she? I thought she was like severely hospitalized, or was she?
Well, she was. It was like a mental hospital.
Oh, the mental.
So like I guess the more that like they went to visit and she saw Shoto and they've been coming around, so maybe she got better, and like you said, that episode ended with her wanting to talk about their family, and I'm like, man, this is kind of crazy, because it seems like that's the first time in a really long time where the whole family's together, minus obviously Dobby, but like I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah.
So look forward to next week, yo.
Great unraveling of his Endeavor's family. Just showcasing everyone, because you're gonna get Shoto, Natu, I forgot the sister's name. You're gonna kind of get their inputs, and then the wife, wanting to have the conversation. So the credits look pretty good. But yeah, man, it was a great episode. Obviously not action, but we're building tension.
Yeah, it's a lot of information. It was informative, and I think I can speak for everyone, but Hawks is obviously a favorite, so getting more of his backstory, pretty cool. Yeah. Best Genius was in there. Shout out Best Genius. Riding his Batmobile.
That's the best thing you've seen from that guy since his inception of the character.
I'm sorry, he didn't save the whole new gen. He did.
Barely even saved himself. And that's another thing.
He died for the homies. He fake died for the homies, bro.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know. They made it seem like he really died, and he got almost rejuvenated. And because Hawk says he activated him when he was in that,
like he revived him when he thought that they would need him.
Because they apparently something about they knew they had some type of Nomu regenerative process, so I don't know how they could see that far and be like, we can definitely bring you back somehow.
Hey man, so you gotta admit he's the GOAT. He let Hawks kill him and bring him back.
He had no choice.
Right?
He ain't strong enough to.
It could have been. It could have been any hero, and he was like, "I'm the number 3, bro. I got you. I hold it down for you. Just BRB me, Be right back. Be right back.
One at a time.
Don't leave me here.
I guess, man. I just whatever. Man.
That's my Hero Academia.
The people already talked about Hawks. Best Genius. You and him can stay over there. Hawks is over here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely a great episode, and looking forward to the next one. But let's talk about Neir Automata. So we talked about episode 1 in the previous pod. We caught up with episode 2 and 3. We've learned a lot about 2B and 9S, about their mission, what they're doing there. They're investigating what's going on. And before we even go further, so guys, we were covering the series we were going to do. That was going to be our anime review for this quarter, but we got some news online that basically they're going to be at least 3 weeks out due to COVID over there, I guess in Japan. And so with that being said, I don't want to cover something, wait 3 weeks, and then pick it back up and not be doing anything in between. Because if we pick up something in between, that means we either have to drop one or add it to everything else. And I don't want to commit to something I don't think I will be able to handle anyways. So with that being said, I think we're going to shift gears and just move to a whole series when it comes to anime review in general. And I think we're going with Vinland Saga, right?
Yes, sir.
Season 2. That's a fan favorite in most people's eyes. But yeah, we're definitely gonna lean that way. We'll still talk about it. We're still gonna watch it on a week-to-week basis, but you won't get that review anymore going forward. We'll just be covering that in these Sunday end of week recaps and talk about it. But yeah, just want to let you guys know if anyone's tracking that way, they're not just like, what's going on? You
got the first episode and they just dropped.
And then we're on Vinland Saga now. So that's why we kind of switched gears.
That's unfortunate though, because I think that was going to be one of those things where, people do anime reviews, but doing an anime review of an anime that was a video game, I was excited for that. Yeah. So, maybe in the future,
we can still have the conversation on it.
Yeah.
And maybe we can even go back and do the full recap. But I think we're definitely I'm gonna bring it up on these Sundays. So
for sure,
we'll be able to still kind of track it because we got a lot of things that's transpired in the last 2 episodes. So you have 2B and 9S working with what are they called again?
The Resistance.
The Resistance, the human resistance. And they thought they were sent there because they had a beacon and they thought they were support for them. But in reality, they're trying to check out what else is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a lot of dynamics between them. We've learned a little bit about, I wouldn't say a little bit. I would just know more details on, I guess, I don't know if they're called, what are they called? The robots?
They're called, here we got it right here. They're called machine life forms is what their official terms. So basically just robots. So in my mind, I'm like, it's robots versus androids.
Yeah.
It's just
they've grown their own conscience. And then we see when we get into episode 3 towards the end, they kind of fall under into this city that's underground, and they have all these machine life forms. And then towards the end, they all we this can't go on. They're all going crazy. And they clump up together, and somehow they birth an android, right?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was one of those things where I was like, it doesn't make sense, but I also haven't played the video game, so I'm just gonna let you have it. Mm-hmm. But that was pretty cool. I mean, you could definitely tell that android was OP. You could tell that. In my opinion, I'm like, that's gonna be their
villain
of the villain of the season, their fight. So. That was pretty cool. I'm interested to see, they were talking about it was evolving just at a rapid pace. So obviously they had to kind of flee at the end. So I'm hoping, they run into that android down the line and it's able to speak and articulate and kind of see the progression of how quickly that android moved from being the machine life form to, an android.
More human, it was kind of weird too, because when it was I guess being birthed or something, it was making that weird robot. I was I was like, I don't know if it's trying to talk to us or just
I wasn't know.
I don't know if it was the interpretation of a robot's I'm coming alive, or just trying to speak. But I think it said a few words, right?
I think it was
after it died, it did birth from itself.
That was weird. I don't know if it was twin thing or if he reincarnated, but some of the things that I liked about it, I wrote some notes down just to kind of things that I had questions for that answered. So when we were talking about the blindfolds, so apparently they're some kind of goggles. So I was like, okay, that answers. At least we got an explanation, And then
everybody's not just Gojo walking around like a badass.
Facts. And then I guess the bigger, we saw in episode 1, they're called Goliath machine life forms. So they're just bigger life forms. One thing that I noticed that seems like the leader, the commander of the Resistance, Lily, seems to know
something about 2B.
2B. So it's kind of her, and she's like, nah. So that's one thing that I was really interested to see. And then seeing 9S, his hacking ability, where he goes in depth and he's that's a pretty dope ability where he's able to get inside those life forms paws and just kind of hack from the inside. That's pretty, again, pause, but that was pretty cool. I think the first episode you get to see it a little bit, but this episode it was just more in depth, and it was it's a pretty badass ability to have.
You need to watch Cyberpunk.
They
have very similar things, and another one that's goated in the anime community.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Ghost in Shell. It's It's a little bit older. There's the old series, which is really good still, and then there's the newer series that just came out. But you see that same kind of process. So
Interesting. I'm about to check it out. I think the Ghost on the Shell was in that list you gave me, but I saw the old animation and I was like, I'll put this off for later. So
hey man, this guy, he's not. I gave him the Bible, man. He doesn't.
I don't know, man.
He's not a believer. He's just.
I don't know. This guy gave.
Around.
I told this guy I don't like mecha animes. First 2 animes you give me were mecha animes.
I don't even like mecha anime, and it was one we've had this conversation, but that's neither here nor there. Listen, I'll give you the 3 animes I told him that was mecha. Right? We talked about Code Geass. We talked about Gundam Blood Orphans and Aldino Zero. If any of you guys watch any of those 3 animes, you know it is mecha, but it's not totally mecha based, and there's a lot of story around it.
It's just
they're
like
excellent animes.
It's just like if I tell you, hey, I don't like isekai animes. Are you only gonna recommend these? Like it just doesn't.
I didn't only recommend it. You're lucky I can't find that list.
Nah, the first 3 he gave me on that list was mecha, and I'm like, this guy doesn't listen to me at all.
Oh man, this guy.
Anyways, moving on.
Let's see.
We got a Revenger Vinland Saga.
Let's go with we'll talk about Revenger, then we'll end it with Vinland Saga. So, Revenger. Again, I feel like it was almost like a can't miss. You have a dope lead character, in my opinion. He's kind of dumb, I guess you could say, because he's all about honor, and he was used, and now he's kind of struggling to find his place within the world because all he knew was to serve. And now that he's I don't know, he called himself a Ronin, and he's a walking sword now, and he's with the Revengers. It's a lot of information that I guess we'll learn going forward. But what do you think about who's your favorite character so far?
Probably Soji, the gambler one. He's just like funny because like he's the comic relief, I guess you could say. But he doesn't mean to. Like he's just being himself. But he's just like little things like, oh, you're sticking that guy to live with me. And then, but I do like that he also has like that honorable side, like in episode 3 when they're like, all right, whoever kills the most, they get the room, and then they're even. He's like, no backseas. Like we already said this. Like I'm a man of my word. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. But he's just funny because he's like the loud mouth, like But he's pretty badass. I think he uses like
I don't know
chin cards or like little.
Listen, it's just the Japanese gambit.
That's basically what he is.
So
it's pretty cool. He's funny, and like obviously he's a character that stands out. Like Doc, he's
all right.
He's okay,
He looks like he might be a little.
Yeah, Ewan is like, I don't know, him and what's his name? The main character. He has a weird name. Kurima. They're both just kind of like, I don't want to say bland, but like their characters don't have any like.
They don't feel,
yeah, they're just like when they talk, they're like,
hey man, my boy's a silent assassin.
I mean, they're assassins, they're dope, they're killers.
He just handles his job.
That's what I'm saying. But like, obviously, fan favorites are the ones that like make you laugh, people can relate to, and that's just, Hey,
I feel like my guy has the best character design. You might not like his like personality per se because he's very cold, silent, and just like I guess you could say honorable, dutiful. But hey, my boy looks the dopest in my opinion.
Oh, you talking about Kurima?
Yeah. I like that guy. Your guy, the one you like, his abilities, but like and his character's not bad. I just like the way. Like, when's the last time? Like, in general, you don't see many characters that have this kind of unique design as far as the physical, like his hairstyle. Just
his hairstyle, the way he dresses.
Yeah,
like when he's in like assassin mode,
it look clean. His outfit's clean, right?
And then when he got when Doc gave him those boots, and like he got like the claw, and he's out here gliding, and I'm like. He is dope. But as far as like personality,
of course, if you want
Soji
more
got it, bro.
Eccentric.
Yeah, he's eccentric,
like,
but Kurima is like he's dope. Now he's scary. What's funny though is like he's such a serious person, right? Like even when he's fighting or when Soji's trying to fight with him, he's like apologize, whatever.
Yeah.
But when he fights, he's like screaming. He's supposed to be assassinating people in the middle of the night. He's just like you. And I'm like, bro, what is you doing? He's just, yeah. And I'm like, bro, nah. Like, that's the only thing about his character that I do not like. He out here he sounds like a damn dying goat. Dude. He's a dying goat, bro.
He's the samurai, man. It's
wild.
a tradition.
Wild.
But I think overall this is gonna be a fun series. I don't think we'll get another season, just kind of based on the first few episodes. But
it was actually last week on the top 10 animes. It was ranked, I want to say 6 or 7. So not bad. I mean,
the action and the characters alone gonna get.
I just didn't think that it would have enough popularity to even show up in the top 10.
What list do you get your reference from? It's off Facebook.
Nah, it's some anime.
I see one on Facebook. I don't.
Yeah,
know
like they post them on Facebook and stuff like that too. But I forget what
does it show the different series and have arrows to say it's trending and
up, down.
I think I've seen the same thing.
Yeah, they typically post them, and I usually save them. But when I went back to click the link, I couldn't find it. But yeah, I think it was like 6 and 7. So I was surprised that it even made the list, just because, like I said, it didn't seem like one of those animes that people were talking about before it started, like Chainsaw Man. Yeah. Where I was like, it might not get the viewership, but
Chainsaw Man got way more.
It did, but it's, like, 6, 7. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, moving on to Vinland Saga, episode 2. We see Thorfinn working with our guy, showing him the way. He's like, "Hey, man," and he's like, "Oh man, I can work myself to freedom."
Yes, sir.
Say less. What we gotta do? We gotta clear this whole side of the lake, dog.
He's like, "Which side? This side? Where do we stop?"
All the way
the way there, bro.
He was like, fuck.
And then they like pan out in bed. He did like a little section of the whole forest. That was wild.
And he's like, why don't we cut up the trees and make it easier? It's not our choice. We gotta throw them down river using the water.
It's wild.
So my boy was out here struggling early because he was just like, he was super happy. Oh, we get to eat. Food comes to us. Here's a slice of cheese and a half-eaten bread, brother.
That was wild.
We gotta split this.
He said that's for 2 people.
Yeah, man. He definitely got his everything looked sweet at first, and then
it did look sweet.
Real.
But the guy seemed genuine, like the master.
Oh, of course.
But it's his underlings.
His retainers, or I don't know the retainers, but the free men that are working on the farm is kind of taking advantage of the power hierarchy. But you see a lot of emotions come out of him. He's like, fuck. We're getting treated like we need a snitch.
Facts.
And what does he do? The first time he sees a bad chick,
he saw
out the window.
He saw a wife. He said, what was I talking about?
He said, I have something to report. I thought you had something to report.
Nah.
Roll, you're funny. And
this guy's weird as hell, bro. I like him.
Thorfinn pulls up. I thought you were gonna tell him.
What's wild is, like, I'm not complaining because obviously we got a season 2, but it's starting off very slow, and I have a lot of questions. Like, why is Thorfinn there? Why is he like? He's just like, oh, that's the master. Like, he could kill any of these guys if they disrespected him. He could be the master, but
I think he's just so broken from, like, his, I guess, life goal to fight. What's it called? Arcs? I forgot his name. The leader.
Oh, Ashlad.
Ashlad. Jesus. I think he's just so broken because he wanted to be the one to kill him, and
he's
then
just like, this
he
is a
developed a relationship, whether he knew it or not. He eventually cared for him, but at the end of the day, that's all he knew. And so once that was gone, he's kind of just like a shell. So I think it's gonna come down to they're gonna develop a relationship, and they're gonna kind of pull each other out of wherever they're at, and that's gonna come out of them. But yeah, it's going slow, but I feel like when it picks up, I
wonder if it's like one of those things where he's just like, it's easy. It's like a clock in, clock out. Chop some wood, eat some food, go to sleep. And that's just like, I guess to your point, he is broken, but that sucks, man, because it's like this man can do whatever he wants.
Hey, man,
but
he was a juggernaut. So
he was the juggernaut.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get more action soon, but still, obviously the backstory was good. We're getting some more information and things like that. So hopefully it just picks up, but still worth the watch for sure.
Yeah. And again, guys, we'll be tracking that. So we'll start the anime review on that. Probably do the first 3 episodes, if not 2. And we'll drop those on the Mondays. So look forward to that. But that's going to be it for this podcast. Guys, let us know what you think of the merch so you can check it out and let us know what you think. But yeah, let's wrap it up on that one. My name is Vihshun.
I'm Rebel.
Peace.
And we out. Later.